Before we get into this, I gotta ask you something. What if I told you there's a draft class coming where 5 different guys have been compared to? Kevin Durant, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and Derrick Rose? Sounds crazy, right? Like something out of a video game. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at with the 2026 NBA draft. And here's the thing. The more you dig into these guys, the more you realize this might actually be real. You are watching AJ Dybantsa, freshman star, who scouts say is the second coming of Tracy McGrady. AJ is leading all of college basketball with nearly 25 points per game on over 53% shooting, and he's 9th in the nation in PER. He's the type of future superstar the NBA usually hypes as its next #1 pick. But AJ might slip all the way to pick number 3 because the 2026 NBA draft is looking scarier by the minute. Teams are now desperately tanking because any one of the top 5 could be a franchise star for the next decade. The actual projected #1 pick, Darren Peterson, scores so smoothly that he's been given the dangerous comparison of Kobe Bryant himself. Caleb Wilson is averaging around 20 and 10 at North Carolina, being called a young Kevin Garnett, and he's projected 4th. Kingston Fleming's just dropped 42 points, and people are saying there are shades of Derrick Rose in his game. He might go 5th or later, and we haven't even mentioned Cameron Boozer. Boozer is the favorite to win National Player of the Year as a freshman, and is having one of the best college basketball seasons we have ever seen. So here's the big question. With these types of insane comparisons and expectations for 5 different picks, have scouts lost their minds? Or are we about to see the NBA change completely from one historic draft? Let's break it down. AJ Dybantsa is having the best season by a freshman wing since Kevin Durant in 2007. Look at the base stats of current NBA All-Stars, or better, who became top 3 picks. It's KD at #1 and AJ at #2. What's even crazier? When we factor in efficiency, AJ actually has a higher true shooting percentage than Kevin Durant and has been more efficient than the huge names on this list. Throw in the fact that he's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, can attack the basket from anywhere, playmake, initiate the offense, rebound at a respectable rate, and we're left asking, how is this not the easy #1 overall pick? Because AJ is producing like the most complete freshman wing we've seen in over a decade. Scouts say his 2 biggest weaknesses right now are ball handling and 3-point volume. He's averaging 9 turnovers per game, and his dribble can get sloppy at times. But for his size and position, his handle is still more than respectable. And while he's only making 3 threes a night, something that won't fly in the modern NBA, he's also shooting 9% from 3, so the ability to improve is there. But are these concerns about AJ big enough to overlook everything else? Here's what we need to understand about AJ. He's essentially a basketball prodigy whose game has been nitpicked to death. In 8th grade, he played high school basketball and averaged almost 20 points per game. Then heading into his sophomore year, he generated one Sonar generation buzz after leading the Nike Peach Jam in scoring over seniors and future top draft picks like Dylan Harper. That made AJ a household name. But when talking about dominating players 2 years older than him, AJ said, "I'm playing with the seniors, so I'm 15, playing against like Dylan Harper. Like those guys average what, 26? That wasn't a great example of letting everybody eat." AJ is a winner and this kind of mindset is special. So is the fact that only 9 freshmen in the last 20 years have averaged at least 23 points per game in a season, and AJ is about to become the 10th. But when a player has been on NBA radars this long, people stop looking at the positives and focus only on his negatives. That's what's happening to AJ. Except, so many NBA players have been praising him. Kevin Durant said, "I love him. I was impressed by his size, fluidity, and ball handling." Devin Booker said, "You can already tell the maturity level. The competitive nature comes through in the conversation." And Draymond Green compared him to Anthony Edwards. "He gets downhill like Ant-Man. The way he attacks the basket is like, hey man, a 69 Anthony Edwards with an insane work ethic." In middle school, AJ was doing 3 workouts before 2 p.m., then finishing the day playing summer league games. BYU had to ban him from the gym over the summer because he was working too much. His dad, a former police officer, made him, and his sisters do 100 push-ups a day, going as far as installing cameras in their house to hold them accountable. AJ once got a C- in 6th grade, so his dad drove him 6 hours to an AAU game, let him warm up, and then had the coach bench him to teach him a lesson. In other words, AJ has been taught that you need to work hard to be great, and that discipline keeps showing itself. AJ began this year averaging 9 points over his first 10 games. In his last 15 against better competition as averaging 26.7. He has the physical tools. He's only getting better. And if this is what he looks like right now, then what are scouts seeing that makes Darren Peterson the projected #1 overall pick? Darren Peterson is becoming one of the biggest mystery prospects we have ever seen. Just weeks ago, he had the label of a generational scorer. Guys like Doug Gottlieb have said Peterson is the closest thing to Kobe Bryant they have ever seen. Sports Illustrated said his play style compares to Kobe, while his potential development will resemble Anthony Edwards. But with that said, we are starting to see tweets like this pop up. Billy, this is Darren Peterson. He's a 65-200 LB pure scorer and is a matchup nightmare. Only problem is he hates playing basketball. If I were a general manager, I would be extremely concerned about Darren Peterson. He's played 12 of 24 games this year, and it's been everything from injuries to checking himself out of second halves. Nobody knows. Nobody wants to talk about it. It don't feel like he really wants to be there. Maybe this is a byproduct of when kids get paid NIL money up front. If that's the way it goes, it's like, well, if I don't want to be here, I get my money up front, then I can check out when I want. That's what this feels like. Yes, there is now a shadow of doubt cast over Darren Peterson as he's simply not playing in enough college basketball games. At first, we were told this was due to nagging injuries, and maybe this was even a positive. If he's really been playing hurt, then averaging 19, 8 points per game in the 14 games he's played this year would be incredibly impressive, especially because Darren Peterson has showcased an NBA-ready jumper. He's been knocking down 7 threes a game on over 41% shooting from deep. And let's be honest, this shot just looks so smooth. When he's on his game, Peterson can score at will. He has elite athleticism that lets him blow by defenders and finish over anyone at the remand. He also has the control to score from anywhere on the court. In high school, when he played AJ Dybunsa directly, Peterson came in ranked lower than AJ and scored 61 points to show everyone that he should be the #1 pick. His upside is unreal. In college, Jay Bilas said, "The last guy I could say that I feel like scored it as easily as Peterson was Kevin Durant." When Durant came out, you knew he was going to lead the league in scoring at some point. You feel kind of like that about Peterson. But here's the issue. People are beginning to wonder if Darren isn't actually hurt, but instead has taken his NIL money and doesn't really want to compete for Kansas. Before playing #1 Arizona, Peterson surprisingly decided to sit out and a text message from someone with perceived inside knowledge went viral. So he's sick and didn't tell anyone in practice. Coach Self said, "Don't half-ass it if you're going to play. If not, sit." DP said, "F it, him out." Fans are worried. They think we might be looking at another Ben Simmons situation, a prospect with a ton of talent who doesn't care enough about basketball or winning. Let's remember, what separates the true greats is a continued work ethic for 10+ years. At LSU, Ben Simmons was a first-team All-American, but he never went to class. His team failed to make the NCAA tournament. Those should have been red flags. So that's why people are starting to turn on Darren Peterson. We also have to note, currently, Peterson is averaging more turnovers than assists won. 6 assists per game, which is 2 less than AJ. And after a recent poor 10-point showing against Iowa State, Reddit went wild. I think it's pretty clear this guy is not giving 100%. Teams are tanking for this. How can anyone possibly have this guy at #1? But is this an overreaction? Maybe Darren Peterson really has just been injured. Kyrie Irving only played in 11 games for Duke before he went #1. And against AJ and BYU, both Peterson and AJ scored 17 points, but Darren had to sit out the second half. So in just one half, Peterson showed insane upside, knocked down 3 threes. An incredible drive to the basket against multiple defenders, switching hands at the rim for the finish. A smooth fadeaway mid-range jumper. And to cap it off, a drive where he throws it down over a poor BYU big man. When we watch Peterson's game, It speaks for itself. And all reports on the side say he does have an elite work ethic. So maybe this mystery is just overblown and will solve itself by March. Darren still has plenty of time to prove he's the